having worked for the U.S. government is interesting because just yesterday, we're talking about the whole Ferguson thing and what's going
Yes.
on in America.
And it's worse than it was before the civil rights movement began.
So tell me about, you think, is there a divide between, can you talk to me about that, how blacks are treated and the laws that were created intentionally? I want that from your perspective, having worked for the U.S. government.
I'm convinced that there's a divide, and I'm convinced that although some white folks don't know it and really are unaware of it, much legislation has been based on it's been racially based. And the Nixon, I'll give you an example. Right after the civil rights legislation passed, Nixon was elected, and he said, now we have, and this is on tape, he said, now we have to get black people in here doing things. We've got to find some way to deal with this. And he was talking to Eagle Crow, who was one of his right-hand people, and he put him in charge of figuring out a way to not have to bring in black people everywhere. And he said, well, they're all addicts, we'll just arrest them. And that's how they got around the civil rights law. And the drug legislation was intensified. It didn't immediately make 3 strikes and you're out, but it was in size, just, I don't know if to say it was 10 times more powerful. And they began getting armored equipment and SWAT teams, and they began invading people's homes without having a warrant, shooting people in their beds. And everybody knew that you didn't have to go do that in white people's neighborhoods because they didn't use drugs. Well, from the time that opiates were first used, you want me to stop?
No.
Until today, the rates of drug use of cocaine and heroin and opiates, all opiates, and marijuana have been the same across all racial groups. But the programs, the drug war is carried out as though it was only black people and Latinos now. And it's you heard the sheriff when for the very first day, right after the event happened, and the first time the man started talking with the public, you could tell that man has no understanding whatsoever of anything but his role is to get out there and kill those people. Or at least make life difficult for them. Because the government has given him tanks and SWAT team material and all kinds of stuff. And you get them cycled in, they keep coming back. And you set up more jobs. You set up more laws to make it impossible for them to re-enter society. So they can't go visit their grandmother in public housing, or she'll lose her housing if she gets caught with her grandson because he came to see her and he has a drug record. Can't get housing for himself, can't get education, can't get training, can't register to vote, has no way to earn money. So what is he going to do? He's going to go the way he knows how to earn money, which is to sell drugs until he gets picked up again. And they know it.
So was that, and this is like documented, like this is actually legislation.
This is legislation. And it's couched in language. But I'm so excited about talking to you. I don't know if I can think of a good example now, but you know about all the code words that are used now to mean by the public, like the newspaper reporters, and the words that they use that signal that they're talking about black people without saying black people.
No. Can you give us examples of those code words?
Well, we don't. We normally, yes, we arrest a lot of people for drug use, and we know that's too bad, and we try to limit it. But you know, in certain neighborhoods, like between 4th Street and High Street and Elm Street, there's just so much drug use there, and everybody knows that's Soulsville. That's where black people are, and it's those neighborhoods that we really have to go into. Now we want everybody to come to this training program that we're going to have, and it will help everybody in your town, and it will make better citizens. So when you come, you bring your identification, you have your driver's license. If you graduated from college, you bring your records of education so that we know, you know, that you're credible. And you come, and then we'll teach you all these things about how to improve community life.
And this spread throughout the U.S.
It's at every level, and those are very poor examples. I'm a very deliberate person, and I'm not good at quickly coming up with examples, but you give me a half an hour, and I'll tell you some good ones.
We'll revisit
But
this.
it's in politics all the time. The political campaigns, look, they changed the outline of the district over and over and over and over, so that the black people are in one area, and that they're distributed in such a way through the different precincts that their vote can't have any influence.
So what would be your closing statements about what type of advice would you give to black